The novel's been keeping me really busy, but I think it was a good distraction from everything that was going on.
Totally. It must feel like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders now that it's finished.
Oh, it does, for sure.
Well, this has been your first novel, right? So I think everyone would like to know a bit more about you personally. Can you fill us in on your life a little bit?
Yes, well, I'm 25 years old. I started writing when I was a freshman in high school. I grew up in the little town of Indiana with my parents and my older sister, Eleanor. I was a cheerleader and a member of the student council for many years of my life. And then I lost my sister in an accident when I was 16, and my boyfriend to suicide just a year over that, which really took a toll on me. It made me a different person than I was before the accident. From there, I graduated from Bartley High School, got my writer's degree at NYU, and here we are. Now I live in New York with my husband, and I get to do what I love for a living.
Wow, so you've had quite the journey to get where you are.
Yes, you could say that.
Well, I just have to say, I loved your book, by the way. It was the perfect combination of emotion and understanding, so everyone should go buy it. And it had logic and facts. Now, I'm assuming something made you want to help others by writing it. Could you tell us the backstory?
I don't even know where to start. Well, one night, Eleanor and I were driving home from a party, and I told her to take the A Street Bridge because we'd be home sooner. Then we got into a terrible accident, and I lived, and she did not. And I found it really hard to live with the idea that I told her to take the bridge, and I lived, and she didn't. I found it took about a year grieving, riding my bike to school, and not writing because it felt like I was betraying her. And then the party scene was just no longer for me. Then I met the most amazing boy, and he taught me how to live again. He was broken just like I was, so we kind of became each other's saviors, I guess you could say. I drove again, started a new website with some girls in my school, and eventually I went back to being myself, only a better version. His name was Theodore Finch, and we'd gone to school together for years, but I'd never really noticed him until one day when we just so happened to be standing at the top of a school bell tower at the same time. We spent our time together wandering all over Indiana, quoting poetry, until one day he just went missing. He kept in touch with us all for the first little while, but then he just slowly became more distant until eventually it stopped altogether. His friends and family kept telling me it's okay, it's just what Finch does, but I knew something was wrong, so I went looking for him. And I found his lifeless body in the water. Within the span of 2 years, I lost my sister and my boyfriend, which is a lot for anyone, let alone a teenage girl to cope with. So once I'd recovered enough to say their names without crying, I decided that the losses of the two most wonderful people I'd ever met should not go forgotten. I wanted to get the word out there, and so I wrote my novel, This Is Moving On.
Wow, it's a heartbreaking story. But I just gotta ask, was it hard for you to share those painful experiences with your readers?
Yes, at first. I think it was hard to think about losing both Eleanor and Theodore at the same time. It was kind of like a constant reminder of my losses. But I think it's important for people to hear how I dealt with all of it, so hopefully those people in the same situation can cope as well.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say they will. Now, I happen to have a copy of your book with me here. Beautiful cover, by the way.
Thank you. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Well, is there any story behind it?
Well, like I said, it's called This Is Moving On, so I asked the publicist to put as many methods of movement on it as possible. This is supposed to symbolize that there are so many ways to move on, you just need to find which one works for you. It's kind of like a don't lose hope, you'll make it through before you've even opened the book. Then once you've found the motivation to pick it up and start reading, you'll find out how you personally can move on.
Wow, well, that's very thought out. Well, it's nice to see how you genuinely care about your well-being of others.
Well, if I can help one person get through the hard times I went through, my work wasn't for nothing. Knowing firsthand how hard it was, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
Oh, that's an amazing story, and thank you. That's all the time we have for today. So thanks so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
But hold on. Before I let you go, we have something for you. A brand new car. Glad you've overcome your fears of cars, so hopefully you'll be able to drive this one around.
This is incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you all, and read my book.